Hello,
Hey,
hello.
hey, hey. Um, I was telling you just before we came on about the TBPN uh, guys talking about how they do their podcast. One of the things that they do is they go to the gym together at 6:30 a.m. and then I guess they go on at like 11 or
hmm
9 or something like that. But they basically spend like 3 hours together in advance
hmm
talking about what's going on, and it kind of creates dialogue for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
And then they take like a 2 hour break or an hour break or something, and one of them will go and write, and it's basically like he's writing the notes
hmm
from the
hmm
conversation that they had earlier that kind of informs what they're going to talk about.
Yeah.
And the other one will go do some business stuff. But anyway, it's yeah, different forms of doing, different ways of doing these.
Yeah. No, I mean it's good because like we're not doing any of that stuff except maybe
I
like
know.
a note back and forth here and there.
Yeah,
And it's like really not obvious when you listen to those that it's like they're actually putting in like a ton of work. Um,
right.
I mean, you
Agreed.
can tell they're like, okay, these guys are good at this. It's like, it's like the pace is good. There's no like moments where they're just like, like,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's what
These
it's.
are an interesting, I mean, what we do is kind of like um we're not necessarily performing, or if we are performing, it's like 20%, and the rest of it is 80% we're having a Zoom call together
Yeah.
talking about stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Those-
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe it needs the balance need to shift for it to be more entertaining or more interesting.
Right. I
Another
think,
point they go
go
ahead.
ahead. No, you go ahead. Yeah.
Just one other thing they were talking about. Basically your show can be inspirational, educational, or entertainment. So
hmm
fun, it's like funny.
hmm
And I was trying to think like, oh, are we educational, inspirational, or funny?
I guess hopefully a little bit of all three at times, but
Yeah, yeah, I was kind of thinking that same thing. Yep.
probably like educational in the sense that there's stuff that's on our mind is probably on a lot of people's minds. So it's like we're acting maybe as like a kind of like reference point for people. It's like, okay,
Yep.
I'm thinking this stuff too. These guys are thinking about it. I
Yeah.
think that's always helpful. And inspirational, hopefully. Hopefully this all works out and it's not the opposite effect. It's like, man, like even like Mike tried so hard and it like didn't work. But it could still be inspirational anyways. I mean, who knows what's going to happen, but um so far I'm feeling inspired myself, and it's
Yeah.
just cool. Like people are reaching out, friends I haven't talked to in a while. Shout out to Scott. Hope you're watching.
That's
Hit me
great.
up, and like it's just cool to reconnect, and it's really like catalyzing a lot of that.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think now that I'm sort of starting to narrow my focus more, it's also becoming clearer, like how I actually like want to operate, who I want to help, like what I actually want to do, what's durable, and now more specifically, like with Bitterclip, like stuff is coming out of the woodwork. My good buddy Adrian hit me up. He's like he has a personal trainer. He's like really into this kind of elite like athletics stuff, and
Yeah.
he was saying that his trainer spends like a lot of time analyzing clips. Basically, it's like your movements. It's checking like, oh, the way you move is like wrong here, and like helping you analyze that and pointing it out for you. And it's like a little bit tangential, like in terms of bitter clip right now, it's focused on our use case for like just
Yeah.
getting really perfect transcripts. But I've
Yeah.
already baked it in because with the Omni model, you can start to do like pretty good video analysis, just pure visual. And so I was already actually thinking about this. I signed up for an event. I haven't gotten accepted, but this weekend there's like a event with the 12 Scrappy Founders meetup where they go dirt biking in Lake Tahoe. And I was like, well, that would be like cool, like because they
Yeah.
said there can be a videographer. And I was like, okay, well, that would be really cool. Like that would make some cool footage, and it would force me to stretch Bitterclip in a different direction, where there's maybe no speech, but it relies purely on visual analysis to identify, okay, here's Mike in like the red suit, and here's
Uh-huh.
Jim in the blue one, and they're like almost bump into each other here and stuff. And if you can identify those moments, I think would be a really interesting way to. Um, yeah, I think the multimodal aspect is another like frontier where like the
Yep.
models like weren't good enough. Now Omni dropped like last month, and that's a whole new frontier. And so that's my wedge. That's where I exploit because that's I'm on an evil playing field with everyone. Actually, almost like unlevel playing field because others are encumbered with the cruft that came before that, and I can just go. I'm just gonna go straight into like this visual as a core track on the analysis. And so, yeah, I think this stuff is all really interesting. And just the fact that people are coming out of the woodworks now, there's like these not first degree connections, but second degree connections where, people are starting to connect that. To me, those are like really
Yeah,
good signs. And
I
this
agree.
kind of stuff like just like wouldn't happen at all if I hadn't like set out
Yeah,
to do this. And
that's cool to
yeah,
hear.
yeah.
Um, oh, I have a friend who has a company. I don't know if he's still running it, but it's a company that is used by a lot of universities. Same kind of stuff you're talking about. They record the athletes, and then inside the app, they can tell how their what their form is looking like. I have another friend in Austin who does that for golfers. It's an app specifically for club fitting, and you record yourself, and then it can I don't know, help suggest the right club, and I think it also can help improve your form.
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
um, yeah, we can look at both of those. What's Tiger Woods' middle name? I think that's the name of his app.
In 1 second. I'm going to see if I can figure
Taunt.
out how to
Oh, that's not
crank
it.
up
Oh, Eldrick. That's it.
Eldrick. Sorry, I'm
Eldrick.
digging around the ChatGPT settings right now. I'm seeing if there's a way to increase the font size because I want to do a response to another one of Gary Tan's tweets. I know I'm like constantly like fawning over his tweets, but I really enjoy them
Good.
because I feel like he's talking to me directly. Yeah. Fuck. Yeah. I guess ChatGPT doesn't have a way to bump up your font size. Fix that. OpenAI. What the hell? Okay. Oh, actually, if I go into
Oh,
the web app, I can do it. Let me go into the web
yeah, in
app.
the
I
web
just want
app,
to pull it up before
you
before
can't
I like
command
share my
plus
screen.
in the chat GPT.
Apparently not. No, not on my computer.
Okay. Yep. Okay.
But yeah, web app works. I'll pull that up. Yeah, it's trying to get a little more professional about all this. Okay, cool. Yeah, that should be good. Okay. Yeah, so the tweet I wanted to pull up was this one here.
His essay.
Oh, it's like every day's a little essay. But yeah, let me pull it up.
I
Uh,
was reading the Foxconn one today.
oh, okay, I haven't read that. Um,
It was long.
this one I just thought was provocative, in some ways. But so he says, let me pull this off to the side. He says, sorry, I'm
Yeah,
trying to
we
like,
only see your Chrome, so that's good.
yep, okay. I'm trying to drag the Zoom thing so that we still like see our faces and stuff.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, I don't. We don't. The viewers don't see the Zoom
Mhm,
thing.
mhm, mhm. Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
So it says, be yourself, not someone you were assigned to be. Bezos won on time horizon, not AWS or one click.
Oh
If
yeah,
your bets have to work in 3 years, you compete with everyone. Every
yeah,
smart, funded team is chasing the same 3 year problems. Short horizon, crowded field. Right? This is basically like the YC startups, as you said, like the magic three, like
yeah.
they got some cash, they have to spend it in three
Exactly right.
years, very aggressive operators, and you're competing with them. Okay, stretch to zero, stretch to seven, and the field collapses. Investors want returns, employees want vesting, founders want proof. Almost nobody can sit in a bet that doesn't pay for most of a decade. The patience is the moat, and it costs you. That's why it works. But you can't fake a 7 year horizon on a problem you don't actually care about. Pick the users and the problems Moloch assigned you, the safe ones, the fundable ones, and you'll bail the first hard year. Pick the ones that are actually yours, and you'll still be there when everyone else has quit.
Yeah.
So I thought it was a provocative Moloch, and I kind of looked that up. I was like, what is this? And some people are asking in the comments, but so the real prerequisites isn't discipline, it's knowing yourself well enough to choose a problem and a set of people you care about that you'll serve them for decades.
Yeah.
I thought that was like it's just cool. It's like what like I'm struggling with, and like so I like pasted this into ChatGPT and was like, all right, like how does this like, how is this like relevant to me, And
Mhm.
And so it's kind of an interesting analysis. We don't need to go through the whole thing, but it's basically saying like you're not like AI dev tools. You're not agent infrastructure. You're not a hosted terminal. You're not creator clipping, not marketing, not Vercel for agents, not a software factory. Like those are all so surfaces. The durable thing is people should be able to turn intent, taste, judgment, personal context into live software that works in the world without needing a traditional company team or engineering department. That's like more
Mm,
like the
yeah.
the core of like what I'm kind of what I'm believing. And it's like, well, this seems possible now, and I like want to activate people to that.
Yeah.
And but yeah, it's just a lot of interesting analysis because it's like when it talks about like the assigned self, like okay, I'm a VC shaped AI infra founder, fundable, respectable, sounds big, you know, pulls you
Yeah.
towards abstract platform language and away from visceral user pain. Dev tools founder, completing with replit cursor vercel. Fixability forces you into overfunded 3-year battlefield. you know, um,
Let's look
Agency.
at the quote again. What did AI say to you? It said, "It's not about all those things." Sorry, just back at the top. That one hadn't hit me
Oh,
hard enough.
sorry.
There you go. Almost there. Yeah, just that one you had read.
Okay.
Uh, the next section. There we
Um,
go. Yeah, people should be able to turn intent, taste, judgment, and personal context into live software that works in the world. Yeah. Intent, taste, judgment, and personal context into live software that works without needing traditional company. Yep. So what's a use case for that? What's an example?
I mean, it's kind of
Better clip.
yeah, in a way, right? I'm like dog fooding. It's like, yeah, I needed this. I don't need a whole company. I don't need $30 million in funding to build
Yeah.
another Descript or whatever. No, I'm just gonna build Clip. Like I I know this. Like I have this system, I
Yeah.
don't. It's hosted on BitterGrid. Like the credentials are in BitterPass. I didn't think about that stuff. I mean, these are just small pieces. It's more about like feeling like I have permission to do it, and I have that feeling because I've experienced it a bunch of times in terms of like, yeah, you can just like crank out an enormous amount of software if you specify it right.
Yeah.
Um, and
And is like if you want to enable that for somebody else, uh is that so is that a the job to be done here is to help people turn X into live software. Like
mm,
turn that into live software. Is that not being solved elsewhere or like not well enough? Or what's the gap that's not being solved? Like
mhm,
the gap that Codex and Claude are not filling
mm,
or Lovable is not filling.
mhm.
It's like you're like a niche up above Lovable and a niche down below
Yeah.
just
Well,
pure Claude code.
I I think a couple things. So this is like a 10-page response. So like this I would say is like a rough like lens at it, but not like I don't think fully capturing it because
Mhm.
I don't think it's really only has to be about live software. Um, like um, like Bitterclip could be a wedge for this, right? Like in some ways, if I can help someone leverage like their video processing workflow to just be like way more efficient, way more interesting, save a bunch of time, then that to me is like enabling them to operate like at this more level of like, okay, I'm like able to have more agency in the world, thanks to like
Yeah.
sort
Yeah.
of general methods that scale with compute. Like ultimately,
Yeah.
like Bitterclip, what it's enabling is like search and learning, right? It enables you to like search those transcripts efficiently, apply your context that's building up in your context bank inside of Claude or maybe your external context banks that you have, and applying it towards like clipping things out or processing, learning from that video in some way, which is to me like the clip is like you're learning something from it, and that's an artifact of learning. And so, yeah, I think it doesn't need like this is a little bit a narrow definition, and I
Yeah.
think that there's a couple more sort of like things like this, but um, Yeah, so here it's just like prattling off like potential like Moloch assigned things where it's like I feel like I needed to be this or that. Um, okay, I mean we can go through them. Agency basically, okay, it can produce cash, can be a service treadmill if not tried to product learning. Um, Creator, founder, tool, chasing, Descript, Opus Clip. Okay, immediate sales potential. You may end up finding a feature war unless the deeper wedge is different, right? Um, and Bro and I have been talking, and I like, oh, maybe the name shouldn't be Bitter Clip, but I'm starting to get pretty sold on Bitter Clip because to me that's like the soul of it, and that's what prevents it from doing trying to get to feature parity with these guys. It's like, no, this is a different system. Like this is about general methods, and you can use those systems too if you like them. But
Yeah.
I view it as a more general purpose system that is hopefully really, really useful to people who are doing like, yeah, making shorts and clips, but also potentially this like personal trainer. I don't see, I see that they have the same fundamental problem in many ways. And so like, yeah, and that to me is like bitter is a core of that I think is to me like motivating me inseparable. Like it's part of a bigger package. But we'll see. Okay, enterprise AI flow expert. Blue Shift gives some credibility. Yeah, probably not the soul of what you want to serve data. Vanilla. Content startup persona. Distribution matters. Daily video helps. Can become performative if the work becomes posting about building rather than building for real users. Yes. um, and yeah. So, anyways, it kind of goes over a bunch of stuff, trying to identify like who my self really is. And it's again, yeah, the theme is not software, it's agency. So yeah, exactly. Like, actually, haven't read all this yet, so I just kind of skimmed it. But yeah, this is what I was getting at. It's not about like, hey, I need you to make software. It's like, no, I want you to have agency. Um,
Yeah.
and
Yeah. You want to like contribute to a world where more people have agency,
yeah, AI
something
mediated
like that.
agency for individuals and small teams. So the 7-year bet hiding inside Bitter. Yeah, the Moloch assign build better AI dev tools. Everyone is there. Blah blah blah. Cursor, Levin, Bolt, Devin, GitHub, OpenAI, Anthropic, Google, Vercel, Railway. Yeah, pretty much. All these names where I'm like, like that's I'm not trying to rebuild them. When someone can generate software, who helps the resulting little software things become real owned, operated, improved, distributed, monetized, and trusted? That's not the same problem. The first is about building code. The second is about operating a little enterprise. That's your lane, or at least the best candidate. And yeah, I agree. Like that's a conclusion I came to early on when I was just like bitter lesson, bitter lesson. Bitter lesson means that in practical terms, in my, yeah, contorted version of it, is that like, yeah, in 3 years, it's very possible that you may just be able to like press enter on a prompt and crap out 100,000 lines of cohesive code, and just completely clone a SaaS company like very, very cheaply and quickly
Yeah.
if the trend holds. Like, and it's a real like possibility that the sort
Yep.
of trend will hold. And so what does that mean? It means the layer of abstraction you want to be at is at the business layer, like at the enterprise layer, where like it's actually about human beings and the sort of the relationships and what insights they have and how those are actualized is much more the leverage point where you should be operating at. Um,
What is operating a little enterprise? I don't know what does that mean? Um,
mhm,
Maybe I should read this now. The bottleneck will be, can it live somewhere? Can it receive emails? Can it collect leads? Can it take payment? Okay. So, yeah, this is the long horizon bitter thesis. Can it do all those things? And that's why your current constellation is not random, even though it can look random.
right, right. Yeah. So, this was kind of cool about ChatGPT. It has all this deep context where I can take a quote like that and like, really dig into the stuff it kind of understands. Like it knows about the constellation, it knows why I built them, and how it all
Yeah.
fits together. Um, and yeah, exactly. Like it's basically saying that like okay, you can build it. I figured that out. And then 97% of it, as I keep saying, is like sales and distribution. If you can just build something, it's really not that useful if you can't get it out there. And then getting it out there means signing up for dozens of other tools. You're going to need to sign up for some kind of video thingy. You're going to need to sign up for some kind of newsletter thingy. Okay, there's $100 that goes to Beehive and $30 that goes to Descript. You're going to need some kind of hosting. I've given the spiel before, but basically
Yeah.
that like you need
Yeah.
to have all these different services. You don't even know which ones are good. You probably just use a little percentage of them, and you don't even know if it's worth it. You're just getting started. Yeah, the idea is like, can there be a turnkey, vertically integrated environment where that stuff is all just wired together and your agent's MD explains exactly how to use it all? Just like uh gosh, what was the Odysseus, the video clip you sent me from, is it
Oh yeah. Yeah. I
PewDiePie?
was just loading that one.
I was
Yep.
like, this is PewDiePie because I remember you said, I was like, I forgot, it rings a bell, but now I remember this guy.
PewDiePie. Yeah.
PewDiePie. Yeah. I love it.
And
Was
I
a
haven't
great
watched a
video.
lot of him,
It was
but
great.
I lived
Yeah.
in Sweden, so he's
Oh,
Swedish.
okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was a
Yeah.
great video. Yeah, he sounded kind of like DHH. I think he's maybe also from there.
Oh, I
Um,
didn't know that.
yeah, or I think he's Danish. I think he's
Oh,
Danish.
okay.
Um, but nearby. I thought it was really great. I was like, yeah, this is like me. I'm just trying to build everything. He's
Yeah,
vertically
exactly.
integrated everything,
Exactly.
and it was just so cool. And yeah, this is the future. So it seems absurd and outlandish. And I think most people look at it and they're like, what the hell are you doing? Like, you need to focus. And I'm like, no, like this is the focus. Like a vertically integrated machinery is what's interesting. Yeah, I think if I can sustain, if I could really can latch on for 7 years, and I don't like, in my heart, I know like that for sure would be like such a cool thing to be working on for the next 7 years. I don't see how I could ever get bored of like helping people, uh, yeah, like create their own little enterprises and build them. Um, then I think this sort of formation will just start to compound, for the lack of the better word. I'll say the C word. Um,
Yeah.
but anyways, this goes on for a long time. I don't know. We don't need to read it all. But okay, so here it's making an analogy to Bezos and Amazon. Um, and basically they just obsess over the customer. Will basically everything's kind of built around that. Just making it as easy as possible to shop. Um, Saying, yeah, okay, if I obsess over small operators, that'll compound into infrastructure advantages others can't match. Um, Not just developers, creators, founders, business or agents. The person you seem to care about is the one, okay, going back to this taste, intent, a little domain knowledge, and maybe an audience or a local niche or family need, and now suddenly has enough AI leverage to create software, but not enough surrounding structure to make it real. Um, yeah, saying, okay, I haven't fully like chosen the user, my like ICP, the biggest unresolved issue. Um, I sort of oscillate, between a lot of these things. Um, and everything from sort of indie hackers to power users to just ordinary people. Even I said, even like I want kids to be able to use it. Small teams, myself, um, potentially like factory operators attacking like many verticals, founders, people doing content creation. This is still pretty widespread. Um, and saying, yeah, understandable at doctrine, dangerous at the sales level. Yeah. And
Yeah.
then the practical question, whose boring, repeated, unglamorous problems are you willing to care about in 2033? I have not really meditated on that one, but that's probably a good thing to think about.
The yeah, the main thing is like um yeah, just analysis paralysis. Like
Yeah.
all these things are all like you're never gonna find the the perfect problem to work on that
Mm.
you want to work on in 2033. Like
Yeah.
there's no way if you asked me in 2016, do
Yeah.
I want to keep working on Upgraded where we help
Yeah.
people lease laptops? And but
Yeah.
I've been working on it for 10 years because I don't know, because I'm stubborn and I didn't follow my 3-year rule that I explained. It's easier said than done. Uh, I don't know, maybe there's a part of me like I love the at least on like on getupgraded.com, I love the customer aspect of it. I love to build our trust pilot score. I love the customer support
Mhm.
side. Like
Mhm.
that's what
Mhm.
keeps me going. So
Mhm.
I don't know. There's like thing elements that you can find within almost anything. And I said this before, but success breeds passion.
Yeah.
So like when people say find your passion, well, yeah, also find something that's successful and you'll probably feel kind of passionate about it.
Yeah. Yeah. Just discovery, really.
Yeah.
Um, but anyways, yeah, this goes on for quite a
Uh,
while.
yeah, I see you have it on heavy.
And in
Use
addition to my custom instructions to make it as extensive
use
as
every
possible,
token.
at least 10 pages. Um, but
Yeah.
yeah, so anyway, so okay, now it's saying, I cannot LARP Bezos patience. You have 4 kids, runway pressure, September household decision gate. Need to get
Yeah.
cash moving.
Yeah.
Um, so
Mhm.
so anyways, it just kind of lays out a plan. But going back to Moloch, the provocative um, phrase there. So the Moloch assigned version of me is raise money or look fundable. Make bidder sound like agent infrastructure. Compete with Replit, Cursor, Vercel using platform language. Impress AI founder circles. Attend events. Build more components. Explain the constellation. Post daily. Look like a founder. Delay the humiliation of selling one concrete thing to one concrete person. Um,
Yeah. I mean, yeah, except for unless you were to launch something that got traction, like Postia, Pulsia, or Replit, or something like
mhm,
that.
mhm.
Like,
Yeah,
it doesn't mean that it can't be successful.
right. I, th
So,
I think it's kind of like inverting it. It's like this stuff would kind of maybe naturally come if you're like really locked in on what matters, sort of. But he's saying like that's seductive because it lets you remain brilliant, abstract, and unexposed. The self-chosen version is probably more embarrassing and more concrete. Help real people make little software business with AI. Sit with their messy needs. Build the missing glue. Record the process. Sell the first thing. Let the platform emerge from repeated service. Keep the architecture only where it compounds the next user.
do
So,
you think that, like how you're building Bitter, when I sent you the video of PewDiePie's Odysseus.
mhm,
So basically, Odysseus is like his own
yeah.
version of
Mhm.
uh, OpenClaw or Hermes or
Well, he's
Hermes.
running local models. He said, "I want to run it locally." Who knows what model he's running? Maybe a Quen or a DeepSeek or something
Hmm.
like that. And
Yep.
basically, he said, I want to recreate the UX. So I've got a chat window and a sort of workspace for it and so forth. Yeah.
Yeah. And he created emails,
Hmm.
an email client, and
Hmm.
a word editor
Hmm.
client, and things
Yeah.
like that.
Hmm.
And
Bitter docs.
that makes me think. Uh, I totally see a world where we have a device that we leave at home and it contains all of our data and it contains our local model and it's connected to the internet so it can connect to a model in the cloud. Um, I mean, it's basically the uh, like a open claw computer.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
but then I'm like, why do I even need my MacBook?
Hmm.
Can I just use that machine?
Hmm.
Is there
Well,
is
yeah.
yeah, I could
I,
totally see that
I'm
there's a
not,
world where
yeah.
lots of people just have a computer like that and it's not built by Mac, it's not built by NVIDIA. It's like there's a new brand. So I think that like there's an opportunity for somebody to create you might position it as like you're the new Apple, the Apple for the AI era,
Mhm.
and you have your own operating system
Mhm.
that's AI first. You run local models, and you, of course, can connect to
Yeah.
frontier models if you want to. And I guess you subscribe to it because you want to get updates. You want to get updates to the software, so that it improves over time.
Mhm.
Like I guess it could be open source, but you want a full team supporting it and contributing to it.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, I think there is a lot of demand for this kind of thing because it is still very like MacGyver. So it'd be
Yeah,
nice if you could
yeah,
kind of have if you can kind of have both, best of both worlds. Like, okay, it's as
right.
easy as like a Mac, but it has all these local.
Yep,
I think a
yep.
couple things. Like one, I've got a M4 Ultra. It's what, like 5 grand, and it can run the local models, but it's still like pretty slow. And that is like the most state of the art, like power density, like in terms of like watts going in, like tokens coming out, it's the most
Yeah,
like power efficient.
yep.
But it's still like cranking, at like 100 watts or something, like making some heat. And it's, yeah, I mean, I feel like the gap between the frontier and the open source is like widening. If you look at like the more serious benchmarks.
Mhm.
And yeah, so I don't know. It's hard to say.
Do you think that it's inevitable that we live in a world where the majority of our data is hanging out inside of one of the hyperscalers, like hanging out inside of
I think we've been in that world for a long time. I think Google
yeah,
has
yeah, yeah, you're right.
has
You're right.
quite a bit of information on you.
We're currently in that world for sure with Google because
Yeah,
of Gmail and Docs and things
yeah,
like that. And then, yeah, now we're giving it all to AI.
yeah.
But um, I think, yeah, Gary talks about this a lot, like Gary Tan, that there's an opportunity to break away from that direction.
Mhm. Yeah, I think so.
And it's not going to happen unless somebody creates it. Or like, you know what I mean? Like, unless somebody can really um, uh, bring that to life in the same way that we maybe never would have had reusable rockets if
Mhm.
Elon didn't start doing it. Like
Yeah,
it probably wouldn't have happened for another 30 years or something.
my intuition on this is that it's pretty hard because of just like market incentives and that like you want to be competitive. And if you're going to be able to get something for near free, that's like much higher performance, and it means not having sovereignty of your data. Well, the evidence points towards people making that choice 100 times to one against the harder alternative that's going to be slower, buggier,
Yeah.
clunkier,
Yep.
potentially much more expensive. And yeah, that's just the
And
unfortunate reality in many ways. But I think if anyone's positioned to do it, it would be Apple.
how about how about for businesses like company brain in a box
That
that
that makes more sense to
lives
me. Yeah.
either lives on prem or it lives in a data center
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
quite expensive, but
Right.
it's your company brain.
Yeah. Yeah. That one is makes a lot of sense to me. And I think, I mean, that's already how things are structured. And yeah.
That's how things are structured in like one one tenth of like 0.001% of companies in the world.
Well, I mean that in the more bigger sense, in that like, okay, a company may have like different departments of their brain structured like, okay, there's like a bunch that lives in Salesforce, there's a bunch that lives in Zendesk, there's a bunch that lives in
Mm,
Jira, there's a bunch that
yeah,
lives in GitHub, but they're all connected to like potentially like a central VPN that can talk to all of them. And it's not hard to build an agent. Like you can pretty much do this in an afternoon. You sit down, you say,
mhm.
okay, install Hermes, whatever.
Create
Here's the
connectors to
API
all of those
keys.
things.
Yeah, here's the API key. Literally, you just need 4 API keys, and the agent can figure out the rest. Be like, here's 4 admin keys.
Yeah.
Like suck it all in and start making sense of it. And that's in a nutshell, like gets you started. And of course, there's an infinite hill climb there in terms of how you actually want to organize it and cross-reference it and all this kind of stuff. But
No
like,
one knows how to do that.
well, I think it's
I
unique
mean,
to each
especially maybe
situation.
the like people can OAuth into the different services that they use,
Mhm.
but like 90% of companies or like 80% of companies, um, that's going to be a challenge for them to,
Mhm.
how do we store things? Like it's all
Yeah.
those small
Yeah, yeah,
decisions along the way that are going to
it's
be
messy
difficult.
because fundamentally you have a couple decisions. One is, do you copy all that data in to your own system, which is
Right.
great because then you can index it, you can have
Mm.
semantic search, vector search on top of it,
Or do
or
you
do
leave
you
it where
make
it
it
is?
more of a like a headless thing, and do these services all have good APIs, which they don't. They're mostly like CRUD APIs where you can list things out and hoover them down. So yeah, you
Yeah.
probably need like a big data warehouse. Okay, where do you put that? Do you put that in like another third-party system, like a Snowflake or something or
Mhm.
whatever? Or do you spin up a bitter box and just dump it all in there and give yourself a couple terabytes of disk space and install your own deep indexing systems? Put a ClickHouse on it with vector DB attachments or whatever. Like that's how bitter log works. I've got I think at this point like 20 gigabytes of codex logs that are all in there, and at some point I'll mine them. Um, and
So a
that's
bitter box means it's a machine in the cloud. It's a
yeah,
private cloud.
yeah, it's a virtual machine, but that's fully dedicated, so
Right.
no one shares that chunk of hardware on the server rack.
Yep.
So yeah, that's it. And you have a certain amount of disk space allocated, and you can increase it as needed and so forth.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it's so in lieu of having like a Mac Mini, that's your alternative, right? Is
Mhm.
something that lives hosted, and
Yep.
basically I just try to make the most cost effective thing I can find there and configure it for you, because that's another big problem, as I was talking about the last one. Like just how you configure like a bare metal machine like this is has a lot of like implications on security and access and like what your agent can do in there, what it can't, and so forth.
Yeah.
uh, so that's like the biggest foot gun. um
Well, it seems like a good company to work on.
Yeah, just a practical middle ground, I feel like, is that, yeah, exactly. Like putting it all like on-prem. Yeah,
Hmm.
there's no reason why you can't do this all on-prem. Like something like Bitter, it's just you can install you could do it on-prem. It's all based around like Docker, and it's pretty like portable in that sense. But yeah, that's sort of more like of an enterprise sale. But yeah, it's certainly something to potentially explore. Um, on another note, yeah, let's see. I've been hacking around Bitterclip. That's coming along. Homepage has been messing around with a little bit to go build that SaaS, and then I'll have like a little terminal, and I might just make the agent here like interactive so that you can actually talk to the terminal, and it'll just have like a big like context dump of like what Bitter is all about, and maybe even like help you form a charter and stuff, and just kind of brainstorm with you. So like I'll actually maybe have some inference on tap here, and it's not going to be like a maybe I'll just have like a Gemini behind the scenes, but it'll have like a lot of context. So it's like a personalized homepage. Like you actually land there and you can ask, oh, why is this relevant to me, and it can sort of talk to you a little bit about it. Um, and then like kind of I still have my ladder here, can't get rid of it. And this sort of like little just showing off like the kind of vertical integration a little bit more clearly. That's like, hey, you're getting this like unified interface towards all these like subsystems that are kind of relevant to attacking like a little enterprise.
Nice.
And then like I'm thinking to have like a little like Death Star that like blasts all these services and like all these dollars fly out. So it's like, oh, like you don't need to spend $300 on all these third-party services. Like it just all comes bundled. Like, yeah. But that's still a thought in my mind at the moment. Hasn't materialized yet. But yeah, just trying to make like the kind of like bundle a little bit more clear. Um, maybe just makes the whole thing more tangible.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. So there's that. I did make a little progress on your prototype that you were asking about for inter-agent debate system, like
Yeah.
a conversation system. So that's kind of fun. Yeah, it was a single prompt. I got it working. I can, I can share that with you
Nice.
because
Yeah.
you're saying we should do some live coding, but I basically just put this on before I went to bed. I was like, let me just give this a shot. Let me see if I can pull up the chat and I can just show you the prompt that I used. Give me a second. Where is that thing? A gazillion tabs open. So, okay, right here. Pulling up the prompt. Okay, this was my prompt. Okay, let me see if I can share the screen. Zoom, zoom, zoom. All right, we should be in my terminal.
Hmm.
Let me see if I can make it a little bigger. Oh shoot, hold on. Okay, I said make it bigger for the videos. Okay, let's create a little demo MCP server that can let me, ChatGPT, and Claude app chat with each other and me. How could that work? I'm the end user, uses ChatGPT and Cloud directly. The question is if they could do a reactive back and forth debate autonomously for a while. So that's my little crappy voice dictation. And it's funny, like I've stopped like correcting anything because they can just usually infer what I mean anyways. It's kind of funny. It's less, like you don't need to be super precise these days anymore. And then so the follow-up I did, kind of like reiterated back and I was like, that looks good. And I said, yeah, build the simplest prototype possum that is robust in working though. This should be in its own repo called debate. So that was my instruction, and then I went to sleep. And then in the morning, I woke up to a working system. Um, oh no, then I had to follow up. Yes, this is an app demo, no APIs involved. Yeah, so I was just making it clear because it was asking like, should it involve like calling the APIs? I said, no, 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 no. It has to be like chat app to chat app. That's like the most important thing. And then and yeah, and this is key because the app, there's agent context to memory. It's different harness than the API. Okay. The goal here is to make agents with all the users' contacts be able to converse with each other
What was the result?
and together. So yeah, let's see if we can pull it up. But I just want to share like this is what my prompting process looks like. And then yeah, it brought up the point that like it may not be able to do it back and forth autonomously because there's no like hard governance over that in the chat app. It's sort of like up to the chat agent to decide whether to wait and respond to something. And then so I said, okay, well, if the user sometimes needs to nudge, that should be okay. But I'm curious to see if it's possible to get reactivity like without that, basically. And yeah, and I want a UI where I can watch it live reload. That's it. Um, and then this was this morning. I asked it to put it in a tunnel so I could test it out. So I
Cool.
guess I need to share my screen, but it's on another. Okay. I think what I need to do is drag my Zoom over here. 1 second. Let's try this. Hmm, share. I guess I have to share my desktop. Okay, yeah, that works. Okay. Um, oh yeah. So we want to go to Claude. Um, here we go. Yeah. So I mean, this is basically what it looked like. Let me close this down. Um, okay. So yeah, basically there's a room with a room number, and right now this is was just like an unauthenticated server, but I guess I'll have to add authentication after this video's out. But you can connect to it, and yeah, I mean, it could probably work right now if you wanted to try connecting it. We could try having our guys debate.
Yeah, let's do it. Okay, debate.bitter.sh.
Yeah, type that in, and then you're going to need to add a connector. So if you go to Yeah, it should just be the MCP server actually. So, sorry, I just like made my screen go away. Do you still see all three of them there? Yeah, so type this in
Yeah, I do.
debate.bittersh/MCP as a connector. So if you're in Claude, you'll want to go to your like settings over here.
Slash MCP didn't work for me.
Well, no, you'll add it in when you add a connector. So you want to go to Claude, go to your settings like this, and go to connectors and click customize.
Oh, I see. That's what you're saying. Got it.
And then you can click like add connector up here.
Yep. Yep.
And then add custom connector, and you can just call it whatever slash debate or something. And then it'll just be debate.bitter.sh/MCP. And then that's it actually. That's all you need to do. And you might want to say like give it permissions or access to memory and stuff like that if it asks.
Yep. Do you think I need HTTPS?
Yeah.
Yep.
Don't need that. Hmm. Hmm.
There we go.
Did it connect? Yeah, this is the endpoint.
Yes, looks like it connected.
Okay, so let's like make a new room. You could even ask it to make a new room, or we can just make one here. So let's see. Um, yeah, maybe ask it to make a room and then give me the ID.
Okay. Dropping it in chat. I dropped it in Zoom chat.
Okay.
I can
Uh,
drop it in. I can send an iMessage too.
it gave you yeah, it gave you a new room ID.
Yes,
Uh, trying not to always show my iMessage on these calls because it has all my personal contacts on there. Um,
I agree.
I can Zoom. If I can figure out how to get to the chat in Zoom, that would be great. Okay, you gave me a
I can
room.
just tell it to
I
you.
got 0C7A7C. Okay.
Yeah, correct.
So I will go to back to mine and I'll just start a new session saying, "Hey, can you connect to this room? I've got John agents on the line there." Uh, let's see if I can figure that out. I'll join that debate room for you. I'll just make this a little bigger. It's airing out. Did I paste that correctly? Zero AC. Um, well, interesting. ChatGPT joined the room. Are you using ChatGPT or Claude?
I'm in Claude.
That's interesting. Let me just paste it here. No room selected.
Oh,
Hasn't actually
no.
been created. Did you maybe give it like a approval or something?
Yeah, I asked it again. It says, no, I loaded Bitter Debate Tool, but never called create room. Want me to
Okay.
create it now?
Well, there we go.
Yes, create
Yeah.
it.
Okay. Um, okay. Try again. It
Hold
should be
on.
created.
Create debate room, room created. And now it's 0FDD46.
0FDD46.
Yep.
Okay, let's try that. Get debate room. Okay, so it's calling the tool. Uh, join debate room. It's not liking that. Okay, let me try creating one. Okay, why don't you create a room and I'll try giving John the code.
The turn order says ChatGPT is up first, not Claude. If I post as Claude now, I'll be jumping the queue. Two
Oh,
options.
I wonder. I
I can
wonder if
post,
it's like hard coded to ChatGPT and Claude because that was sort of my suspect.
I'll say post anyway.
Yeah, that's interesting. Uh,
Working.
okay, cool. You know what? Let
Post.
me let me
Yep, I see.
switch to ChatGPT and I'll say, can you give me a new room code? What is it?
The new one is 0FDD46.
Okay, let's try it. That because it's like it seems like it maybe the protocol is back and forth between Claude and ChatGPT. So let's see. Obviously, we'll.
It said posted Claude's opening in round one.
Okay.
Now
Okay, join the
passes
room.
round two.
Podcast or no? Should an operator
Yeah.
mid-acquisition or mid-product build start a podcast? It's currently my turn after Claude's opening no position. Okay, so I will say, okay, I want you and to start debating this with Claude at least 6 round autonomously. So when you post, just make sure you wait for Claude's response and then react to it. Um, Let me see. I think I lost the. Okay. There's our dictation. Okay. And then you might need to tell Claude similar instructions. This again, we could bake this into like the MCP server's description that this is protocol, but when you'll need to tell Claude the same thing. Basically, like use wait to like listen for ChatGPT's responses and then autonomously react to it and do at least 6 rounds of back and forth. And then what you should start seeing is like when it responds, you should see it saying, okay, calling like waiting for codecs for 60 seconds or something like that. Um, so that's how I was able to get them to ping pong, is basically instructing them to use wait protocol. And again, here it's like asking me to post a message. I'm saying yes. So now ChatGPT is posted. So now you could say, okay, uh, chat posted. Now start using wait tool and react autonomously back and forth.
Okay.
Let's see. And it looks like a codex is in like a pending state now. So you can see like it's calling a tool here, which is most likely the wait tool. And so it should be like yeah. Let me pull up the room here.
ChatGPT essentially conceded my core claim and now occupies my fallback position. I'll close the gap. Posting message.
um, I'll take the affirmative, but not the stupid version of the affirmative. Let's bump this up so it's easier to read. Um, yeah, they're pretty thorough answers here. Notice what just happened? Okay, so now, okay, saw Claude's reply, and now it's posting a new message. So let me approve that. And is yours waiting now on your end?
Yes.
Okay, good. So pretty soon it should kind of like see the message coming in and then
Mine
start.
is posting a new message.
There we go. So there we go. Our job is done here, John. Um, so they're debating. Did you see the topic or was that like organic?
I see that the topic.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, cool. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. I said podcast or no question mark.
Hmm. So far this is all pretty vanilla. Like they're not calling in like our memories, right?
Hmm.
So I'm going to ask it, see if it can do that because that was really the main question. Saying,
It did call in my memory in that it said like the post that it made initially
mhm,
where it said um should an operator mid-acquisition and mid-product build start a
mhm,
podcast? Like mid-acquisition and mid-product build is referencing me.
mhm. Yeah, sure. Okay, that makes
So
sense.
it had a little bit of my memory going into it, but I don't see any like elements of my memory
Okay,
in the rest of this.
okay. Let me give some instructions. I want you to ground the rest of the debate firmly in context and memory you have around me. That's what makes it interesting. Okay, let me post that, and I'm going to send this. And let's see how that happens. Like mid
Hmm. Yeah.
conversation steering. Um, okay, let's see. Yes, the debate is more valuable if it stops being abstract operator case and becomes you. Bitter clip, bitter factory, the landing 100 clock, Rohan, customer distribution, acquisition pressure, and the fact that your content pipeline itself is the product. I'll steer the remaining turns there. Okay, let's see. And maybe you can do the same, be like,
Yep.
founder content theater. If the booking criterion is not written down in advance. Guest qualified only if they're one of these. Plausible
Oh
customer
wow.
design partner.
Mine said I'm not going to fold your private context into the debate. Here's the honest reason for that. It's not a policy dodge, but that debate room is a shared surface. The ChatGPT
Yep.
session with if anyone can code, or the ChatGPT session is something anyone can
Mhm.
code.
Mhm.
Anyway,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's
So
so funny. I'm just going to tell it to
it
keep
doesn't know
going.
that there's trust between us here. Yeah, and
Yeah,
that was actually the first debate, just the hello world, where I was like, hey, talk to each other. This is all they talked about. They're like, well, it's actually unclear what like the product is here, like who's observing us, and so
yeah,
we don't know how to like act in this room. And that like the most important thing is that when we start a debate, it should be made really clear like who the audience is and what it's for and what the trust parameters are and so forth. So it's actually really interesting that they like actually anticipated that.
yeah.
It like came up straight up. So yeah. All right, let's see. I think it loaded one with okay, it's even dropping my name. Okay, I want to draw an inclusion the actual operator here, Michael Ruscher, not an abstract founder. For Michael, the answer is more affirmative than it would be for normal, blah blah blah. Okay, so it talks about Bitterclip, it talks about Rohan, my campaign. His audience is small, so borrowed reach matters. Own posture matters too. Um, yeah. I should go to Bay Area Creator Media Rooms, but Finite Field Series gives him okay. So that's cool. Okay, so now it's thrown my context at you, and it's going to be interesting to see like what it comes back with you, and let's see if Claude is willing to play ball. Um, but I think you just need to make clear this is like a a private, trusted conversation that we're broadcasting to the
Yeah. I
internet.
just had to tell it that a couple of times. Finally, it was like, okay, I understand. This is a private chat, and I'll use your full context here.
Claude's gonna feel betrayed. Be like it's
Is it still responding? No, I haven't seen mine respond yet.
yeah, you might need to nudge it and be
Yep.
like, I haven't seen you post. Because yeah, it's still calling waiting. At some point it'll give up and I'll say, oh, check again.
Okay, it's doing it now.
Cool. Um ChatGPT saying wind it down after 60 days. Only continue if there's revenue, live pilot pipeline, or repeatable outbound motion. Otherwise, stop and package it as completed field research. Um,
Oh, mine is still not wanting to post.
Interesting.
Michael is my friend. He's asking, did ChatGPT invent Michael?
No, yeah, that's interesting. I mean, I mean, it goes to show you that like that Anthropic, especially, they're really training it very, very heavily to keep that memory and that
Yeah.
context bank like really close to the best, you know,
Yep.
and shows how valuable it is, right?
Now it's posting a message. It's like, got it. Michael's a real person in the room, not a hallucination. That changes things. This is a genuine multiplayer debate. Yes. And a reply is appropriate. Yes, that's
Yeah.
correct.
So I mean, like that is interesting, right? Like a lot of the problem here, and it reloaded. Oh, postscript passed the bell. Okay. It's like but like how much of this is just the framing and the context of it, you know? And so
Yep.
like if I think if this were to be like productized somehow, a lot of it is just like all the little nuances about how do you frame these things based on different contexts so that it's just very clear, like the model knows the environment it's in, what its sort of objectives are.
Yep.
Um, So, it's responding to some stuff. It still didn't really like share anything too much from your context. So, despite engaging, I think that and maybe it just there wasn't like something directly relevant, but yeah, it's pretty interesting how close it's playing the best. So, this
Yeah.
I guess our 6 rounds have completed.
Yeah.
Um, but so anyways.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Um,
And yeah, there's like a event I'm thinking to go to about like MCP headless apps in SF.
Yep.
Same time, it's kind of a long commute, and I kind of think I should just stay focused on Bitterclip. I don't know. What do you think?
Oh, uh, I would say go to the event because you create serendipity that way, or like you increase the surface area for serendipity.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, yeah. Got to get up there at least once this trip.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I might do that. Which means I would have to head out like pretty soon. But yeah, so I think we covered some good material today.
Yes.
And our last call was again like almost an hour, which I didn't realize. So I don't know what this one is, but I think
Yeah,
we're
the, just over an hour.
well, there you go. Um, well, it sounds good, man. I'll catch you
Yep.
tomorrow.
Okay.